Bruce? Siamo in Oregon, uno stato del Nord America dove la natura è assoluta protagonista. Ci accolgono i colori dell'autunno su strade in cui la precedenza è dei cowboy e delle loro mandrie. Spesso ci si sente come in un film da queste parti. Stiamo andando ad incontrare Bruce Campbell, l'uomo che vive in un Boeing 727. Avevo letto di Bruce in un articolo qualche mese prima. È iniziata ora ai lati della strada una foresta molto fitta e Bruce dovrebbe vivere con il suo aeroplano in mezzo a questi alberi. L'idea che un uomo viva da anni dentro un aereo nel bosco ci è bastata per decidere di andare a conoscerlo. Ok, questa dovrebbe essere l'ingresso di Bruce. Felici di aver noleggiato un veicolo 4x4, saliamo una piccola strada sterrata fino alla nostra destinazione. Siamo appena arrivati alle mie spalle, vedete l'aeroplano, e se vi state chiedendo perché sto parlando con la voce così bassa, beh, il motivo è che Bruce vive seguendo il fuso orario giapponese, non chiedetemi perché, glielo chiederemo tra poco, e quindi lui si alza ogni giorno intorno all'1 del pomeriggio, ora locale, per cui ora sta ancora dormendo e noi siamo arrivati, iniziamo a guardarci intorno aspettando che si svegli. Davanti a quel gigante dei cieli sono stupito dalla sua dimensione. Certo, non è la prima volta che vedo un aereo, ma è la prima volta che ne vedo uno in questo contesto, in rapporto con le dimensioni del bosco. Guardando l'aereo in questo posto vengono spontanee una lunga serie di domande, tra cui come si acquista un aereo, quanto costa e come è possibile trasportarlo fin qui. Beh, dopo un po' di attesa era arrivato il momento di rispondere a queste domande. Ok, l'ingresso ufficiale per entrare nell'aereo è attraverso l'ala destra, poi c'è una piccola porta dove bussare. Vediamo se è in casa. Casa. Wow. Sono sull'ala di un aereo. Ok. Vediamo. Bruce? Bruce! Hello! Wow, it's so nice meeting you finally after so many emails. Did you wake up?
I did, and I've had enough sleep. It's not perfect, but it's enough.
Cool. Are you trying to sync yourself with the Japan timings?
Well, I'm pretty much always synced with them. There are tactical reasons for doing that, even though I stay in America for extended periods. Yeah, that allows me to have some good work time as well, because overnight I don't have visitors or not very many.
You're
so
more productive.
Yeah.
That time. Wow. Here we are. We are inside the airplane.
Yeah.
Wow.
And actually, I'm going to put a pair of socks on. My feet are cold.
It's a bit chilly.
It's a bit chilly, and I'm old. I hate the cold.
In terms of lighting, this is all we have at the moment, right?
At the moment, but we can produce a lot more. And it's just this wire. Touch the wire to the metal, but for only 1 millisecond, just touch enough.
And then I put it off. Okay, let's do it. I'm not gonna die, right?
No,
okay,
nothing will explode. Yep.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Wow,
good.
I feel a superhuman actually. Wow,
Yeah.
This is motivating. Accesa la luce dentro l'aereo, ci guardiamo intorno. È un unico lungo corridoio pienissimo di cose.
So there it is, my futon sofa where most of my laptop work occurs, and the electric blanket which keeps me warm and toasty. And
so this is where you sleep also?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
These are systems I'm restoring, which is recreational work. It gives me hands-on work, which helps me to avoid burnout problems.
Of course.
The bench is overloaded now because summer is not a bench period. It's an outdoor work period. So little projects are just set on the bench and wait until winter. Kitchen, such as it is. It's not elaborate. I'm a nerd. I don't cook. I open a can, pour it in a bowl, and then nuke it, and then get back to whatever I was doing.
You don't cook, and what do you usually eat during your day?
Minestrone soup, maybe lima beans. I know everybody hates lima beans except me. And there's sunflower seeds and cereal, cornflakes, tortilla chips. So I love great nuts. I know most people hate these too, but...
You have your tastes.
Yeah, I have my
Then we
taste.
see a lot of milk. And how often do you go to the store to buy some of the food we see here?
I try to load for 3 months of use. The best by dates don't make much difference to me. If I open it and it smells okay, I eat it.
Bruce continua a mostrarci il luogo in cui vive e, come si deduce dal suo abbigliamento, le temperature sono piuttosto basse dentro l'aereo. Così gli chiedo qualcosa a riguardo. Because you have a heater system here.
No, I have a space heater. It only makes 2 or 3 degree difference, but you know, it's something.
So what's the average cold temperature you get here in winter?
Generally inside, it's somewhere between 0 and 5 degrees.
And you can manage to stay, to live here within those low temperatures?
Well, I live about half time in Japan typically.
Which is in winter time usually, when
Yeah.
here is winter.
Yeah, it'll be a time during which I spend most of my hours under the electric blanket, cowering with the warmth of the electric blanket, making life possible, and concentrating on laptop work, which is what I do mostly anyway.
Bruce trascorre la maggior parte delle fredde giornate invernali a scrivere articoli di vario genere che pubblica sul suo sito.
You know, a lot of people spend a lot of money and put a lot of carbon in the air just so they can keep themselves warm.
So you would say like the main reason why you haven't like a heater here or something is due to the pollution and to the environmental awareness, or it's more of a economical thing?
It's a combination of both. So yeah,
Okay.
in very roughly equal measures.
The washer is connected to some water pipe, water tube.
Yeah, this is hot and this is cold. So these are additions, and shower as well. And the shower is temporarily installed.
So you can manage to have showers even in winter times with 5 degrees here.
Well, the water's warm. As long as I keep the water flowing, I'm okay. The moment I turn the water off, then I move as quickly as I can to dry my body and get under the electric blanket. And guest lavatory is here. Now, this is the original lavatory. I modified the plumbing slightly.
Bruce continua il tour del suo aereo e prima di mostrarci la cabina di pilotaggio decidiamo di uscire per sfruttare gli ultimi momenti di luce e cercare di capire se anche in questo caso dietro una grande scelta si nasconde una grande storia.
Well, when I graduated from college, recession was occurring and I only got one job offer, but it was the company I most wanted to work for, so that was nice. That was Tektronix. They're located here in Oregon. So I packed up everything I owned, put it in a Volkswagen Beetle and drove from Colorado to Oregon and started working.
Bruce viene assunto come ingegnere elettronico e deve decidere dove andare a vivere.
Lived in an apartment for a couple of months, then found an old mobile home, a used mobile home, which I could buy with cash, humble but sufficient. Set that up in a mobile home park, tried to reduce my expenses as much as I could. And then I started shopping for land.
Così, all'età di 24 anni, Bruce investe tutti i suoi risparmi in questo terreno e viene a viverci con la sua casa mobile.
I'd either buy a home, in which case I'd have a multi-decade mortgage, and that would trap me in a working life. Or continue to live in the mobile home and save and invest and save and invest and save and invest. The advantage with that would be that I would remain free if I got sick of work or for whatever reason I just wanted a change of lifestyle. The fact that I could just quit anytime I wanted to, it created an ambiance where I didn't want to quit. I didn't need to quit, but I could. This is a little bit of a personal philosophy. In my estimation, when people are trapped in a situation, they just naturally want to get out, even if the situation is a good situation.
Così per diversi anni continua a lavorare e a risparmiare, finché le cose stanno per cambiare.
But after about a dozen years, I didn't have enough money to buy a home at that time, although I was working up to it. I did leave the company though because I felt as though I was as smart as my boss, so I started a little humble company and it worked out. And I was able to put bread on the table.
Così Bruce si mette in proprio e a proposito di lavoro indipendente, vi parlo volentieri di una soluzione molto utile se siete lavoratori autonomi come noi o se invece volete lanciare un nuovo progetto. Si tratta di Fiscozen, un servizio pensato per risolvere i tanti stress che una partita IVA normalmente porta con sé. Fiscozen è un servizio online per la gestione della partita IVA che ti affianca un commercialista dedicato specializzato nella tua professione, sempre a disposizione tramite chat, email e telefono per aiutarti dall'apertura alla gestione della partita IVA. Avrai a disposizione una dashboard da cui poter emettere fatture in modo molto semplice e in qualsiasi momento è possibile richiedere una stima in tempo reale delle tasse e dei contributi da pagare. L'apertura della partita IVA è gratuita e la dichiarazione dei redditi è guidata, quindi basterà inserire i documenti precompilati e il gioco è fatto. Quindi, cliccando sul link qui sotto in descrizione, otterrete una prima consulenza gratuita con un esperto, utile sia che abbiate già una partita IVA o che invece vogliate aprirne una, più 50 € di sconto sul primo anno di abbonamento. Ora continuiamo con il video. And then from there to this,
Yeah.
what opportunity arrived? And
So at that time, I'd reached that level where I could buy a home with just straight cash. I asked myself the engineering questions, which were, what's the finest materials and fabrication technology I can get for my buck? Aerospace is the clear winner by a wide margin. It was an easy question to answer. The moment it occurred to me, I was like, well, of course that's the answer. That's the proper thing to do. And the question was, well, can you do it? Can you actually acquire the aircraft? Can you actually move it from wherever it is to here? Those are daunting challenges, or so I thought.
È un'apparente coincidenza a trasformare una semplice idea nel progetto che cambierà la vita di Bruce.
I was driving home from tennis and listening to All Things Considered on public radio. And they talked about something, and then suddenly they switched to another story, and they said, well, this retired hairdresser in Benoit, Mississippi lives in a jetliner. And my ears perked up, of course. It's a wonder I didn't drive off the road.
Sente parlare di Joanne Ussery, una signora che aveva concretizzato le idee di Bruce riuscendo a vivere in un aereo.
And I listened to it, and they said, well, she did this, and she did this. And I thought, oh man, okay, well. So at that moment, I became convinced of the viability of the project. I can do it too. Yeah, so there's the flight deck.
The monitor there is on. It's like how it's connected to a little pad.
It's a slideshow of some technical documents for the aircraft. Some images from 2001: A Space Odyssey. That was this aircraft when it was in service.
Oh wow, look at him in his young times.
Yeah.
What year did you buy this plane? When?
It was late 1999, and it didn't arrive here until 2000, so it's been on this site very roughly 23.5 years. It was a Greek airliner, and it flew a full, healthy life. It entered service
And how much does an airplane cost, this kind of airplane?
So I paid $100,000 for the aircraft and I spent about $120,000 for logistics.
La logistica costa più dell'aereo. Il trasporto infatti è stata la sfida più grande.
I purchased the aircraft in a contract context with a salvage company. They arranged for a ferry crew to fly it from Athens International Airport to Hillsboro Airport, which is about 20 kilometers away. And then the salvage company did their thing. They removed the engines, the APU, actuators of all kinds, avionics, electronics, and we cut the wings off. That was not actually the optimum way to do it, but at the time it was the best I could see.
Bruce ha diviso l'aereo in 3 grandi parti e, caricate su camion per il trasporto eccezionale, le ha portate fin qui.
We fished our way through a very carefully planned route through downtown Hillsboro with just centimeters to spare.
And then you reassembled it here.
Yeah.
Per anni Bruce dedica tutto il suo tempo libero dal lavoro per ricomporre l'aereo e renderlo abitabile.
I slept on a row of seats for about 2 years.
Qui si apre un lungo capitolo pieno di spese economiche, di tempo e di energie. E volevo capire il vero perché di questa scelta. Do you know what all of them are used for?
This, for example, is interior emergency exit lights, windshield wiper fluid, landing lights, taxi light, runway turnoff lights, wing lights, illuminates the leading edges of the wings so you can inspect for icing conditions. Wheel well lights and dome white.
Oltre alle sue avanzate competenze tecniche, era evidente in Bruce qualcosa di più profondo.
One more night in my head.
The idea is for this to rest in this location.
I'm stirring up dust, kicking cobwebs.
So, you know, Bruce, after spending some hours with you, it's very nice to observe your personality that you developed staying here. Your eyes look like a child when you talk about airplanes and that, and you start to scream about how beautiful it could be, the project.
Now, when I was born, 2 things happened. The first was, the second was, oh, cool, jets, cool, jets everywhere, cool.
Ci racconta che entrambi i suoi genitori facevano parte dell'aeronautica militare americana.
I lived near Air Force bases from the moment I was born, always exposed to jet fighters practicing overhead. And I ultimately became a pilot, although not for the Air Force. I never joined the military. I just earned my private pilot's license. So I've been around aerospace technology literally all my life.
Well, I don't know if something's gonna come my way.
Ora Bruce è in pensione e continua a prendersi cura dell'aereo.
But give me just a little taste, 'cause I need something.
Accogliendo col sorriso i tanti visitatori che, come noi, decidono di andare a trovarlo.
A window with a view.
Some of the enthusiasm, which just naturally rises in my voice, comes from the fact that I genuinely believe in the vision.
And how important do you think in general is to have a vision?
For everybody, I think it's critical. I think if you don't have that, you don't have a sense of fulfillment to pursue. Human beings talk about happiness, but all we can do is pursue happiness. You know, hold on tight to your dreams, as the song says. I think that's very important. It doesn't matter really what the dream is, as long as it's not harming other creatures. Pursue something. There are all kinds of wondrous adventures available. We have enough technology. And I recognize that many people are trapped in desperate circumstances because they don't have sufficient resources just to feed themselves, or they're living under a tyranny where their lives are always in danger, or they don't have control over their own lives. And I don't mean to be flippant. For them, fulfillment comes second, survival comes first. I hope that there'll come a time, and soon, on this planet when everybody will have full liberty, and we've used our technology to build instead of destroy, because if we did that, there would be enough for everybody. And of course, that we become wise enough to manage our planet and our resources so that we're not destroying the home we live on.
E questa era la storia di Bruce Campbell, l'uomo che da oltre 20 anni vive in un Boeing 727 parcheggiato da qualche parte tra le foreste dell'Oregon, e che ringraziamo molto per averci accolto nel suo aereo. Infine, grazie a voi per aver viaggiato con noi. Noi ci rivediamo al prossimo video.